Hey creators, what's going on? Hope you're having a great day. Thank you so much for tapping in with me. I'm not going to take too much of your time. I am under the weather right now, so don't mind the way I sound or look. Just bear with me here. But we're just going to talk briefly today. Prioritizing purpose over fear. I spoke on Snap not too long ago. I was just telling you guys, just giving you some encouragement. When you have something that's on you, it bothers you, it keeps you up at night. It's just this thing that has grabbed you and consumed you. We all have that moment where we encounter something and it changes something in us, and it's like a light bulb comes on and you realize that's what I'm here for. That's my purpose. That's my cause. And I was telling you guys to just stick with it and make sure you do it because it's for you to do. And it's the same thing here. If that's your purpose and you feel strongly about it, you have to do everything you can to make that thing happen. And it's not going to be easy. But this is why I said prioritize your purpose over your fear. Because coming into that knowledge, man, at first is exciting. It's invigorating. It's going to wake something up in you. You're probably going to immediately start researching if it's music, writing, whatever the situation is. But you're going to just want to jump in. You're already planning and everything because this is what you feel you are on this earth for. All of your skills, all of your personality, your ideals, the culmination of you was meant to do this. And that's an exciting thing to come into the knowledge of. But as soon as you chill, as soon as you get to yourself, you're not really thinking about much. The first thing that's going to try to derail that whole vision is fear. It's either going to be fear of failure, fear of inadequacy, or fear of success. And it's gonna come. But I want you to understand right now, it's normal. It doesn't mean you need to stop. It's absolutely normal. So let's jump into the fears. So nobody ever wants to lose. Nobody wants to fail. It's definitely not something we aspire to. So when we talk about a fear of failure, it almost seems like that's a good thing. Like, hey, maybe it'll motivate me and keep me on track. Unfortunately, that's just not how that works. When you fear failure, like truly fear failure, you will do everything safe. You will stay within the lines, stay within the confines. The problem is, this is the purpose of your life. It's complicated. There's twists and turns. Understand, there's going to be highs, there's going to be lows. You are going to fail. You have to fail in order to succeed. Accepting that is vital in order for you to fulfill any type of purpose or any type of aspiration that you have for your life. You have to fail in order to succeed. Fearing failing basically stops your potential. You can have skills here, but only compete here. What does that do for your skills? It doesn't elevate them. It doesn't make you better. It's just an exhibition. You're doing it for I can't think of anything I would rather not do for a show or to entertain someone than to be trying to out here living out my purpose, man. I ain't doing this for entertainment, right? Like, I'm trying to make the world a better place. I'm trying to hear better music on the radio. I want to have better books in the library. I'm trying to make a difference, uplift my community. That's what my purpose is looking like. So this is not a show, man. This is what I'm serious about. So taking those things into heart, like always reminding yourself that you set out and you said that this was the reason why you were on this earth. You made that declaration. So you have to rise to the challenges and you have to overcome them in order for you to see whatever vision or whatever purpose fulfilled. But the next fear that's definitely going to try to take you over and deter you and stop you is the fear of inadequacy, where you're questioning yourself and you're questioning what you know, you're questioning what you're doing. And we've all had moments where we question our capabilities to do certain things, especially things that we want to do. And then we're talking about failing being necessary. So all of those failings are lessons learned, right? But what if they happen back to back? You got a solid year. You either failed a couple of projects, ran into some roadblocks, some things kind of got dropped, some things got pushed. You just had a terrible year, right? The first thing you're going to do is doubt yourself. Man, I'm not supposed to be doing this, man. Ain't nothing working out. I'm sick of this. I'm putting all my time and my money into this and ain't nothing working. I'm sick of it. Inadequacy can be trained. Remember that. If it's in you to do, you can learn how to do it. If you can't learn how to do it, right? Delegate it. Find a team. Find help. Never try to go at this on your own. Just because it's your purpose does not mean that you have to do it by yourself. And for me, that last piece, not going at it alone, man, that is like, that just cut me, and I said it. So not going at it alone. If I had to have a super inadequacy to name one, that would be it. Not asking for help. So much time I have wasted trying to figure something out on my own. And sure, I've come to the conclusion and fixed the problem, but it took me 5 days when it could have took me 1 day if I would have just got on the phone and talked to somebody that knew what they were doing. Just out of that fear of being inadequate, you just don't want to give up on something, and it's just not working. I want to know that I can do it. You understand? But the goal has to matter more than this. So prioritizing the purpose over the fear of inadequacy. And then that last fear, the one that's kind of weird, nobody really ever wants to admit to because it's a little strange, the fear of success. So when you're talking about fear of success, it's not something that people talk about openly, because it's hard to tell your homie, hey man, I'm really just scared to win. And he understand, because it's just like, bro, how you scared to win? Like, that's the whole point of life, is to win. Everything you do competition wise is to win. So you scared to do well? Yes. And it's a valid anxiety. And if you experience or you feel a fear of success, don't feel like you're alone. Don't feel like you gotta hold all that within yourself, because ultimately it is probably the most crippling of any of these fears, simply because the outcome is good, but you're still scared of it. The rest of them, it was always a lesson learned. The outcome is going to be bad in a sense, and you kind of have to pull the good out of it to make it worthwhile. Well, succeeding, you get all of that. You win, right? Why would you be scared of that, bro? And when that question is posed to you, you almost feel dumb. You kind of understand why. Maybe you don't understand why you're fearing success the way in which you do. And so it's hard to explain. But the thing about it is, and the reason why I consider it to be the most crippling of the fears, is because it creates self-sabotaging behavior. And once you're stuck in a self-sabotaging loop, it's hard to get yourself out of it, because you're probably considering somebody else's feelings over your own. I have this problem, so I'll consider the world before I consider myself. So you could be worried about leaving people behind while you go pursue your dreams and enjoy the life that you've now earned. It could be you're scared of what can happen to you once you're in the spotlight, because a lot of people hate people just because they're winning. You could be worried about the new responsibilities and the expectations that are now going to change because you've gotten to this place. So you're willing to mess it up, and you mess it up thinking that it's for the best. It's going to help a situation, but in reality, you know that it's not. But it'll help your anxiety so that you don't have to worry about what's going to come next. But who wants to live a life like that? You will be living a life where you won't have much satisfaction, much happiness. Nothing's going to fulfill you because you won't position yourself to achieve. Then that's going to change your expectations for yourself. Once you lower your expectations and you start just skating through life, doing the bare minimum, just trying to get by, again, not a happy life, then your self-esteem is probably going to drop, because you're going to convince yourself that you don't deserve anything because you have this block that is preventing you from achieving everything that you have the potential to have. And then ultimately what that looks like is you have difficulty pursuing anything that you want to do in life, right? So looking at that domino effect and what all it's done for you, you're merely just existing at this point. And it's interesting to go from having a vision and being invigorated and fueled by it to realizing that, hey man, I really am scared to win, for whatever reason, and how debilitating that is. And it's just stopping everything in its tracks. That's why I consider it the most crippling of all the fears, because when you fear good things, you settle for the worst. And that's just true. When you fear great things coming into your life, you will settle for whatever comes your way, because like we said, your self-esteem is already shot. You have no motivation, you have no expectation. You're gonna settle for something, and that's a sad situation. So if you're feeling like that, I don't want you to feel like I'm beating you up. If you're feeling like that, I want you to know I understand, and you can overcome that fear with your purpose. You still awake over there? Still with me. This really took a lot longer than I expected it to. I think I came into this thinking, I got 3 minutes, finna kill it. Pop, 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 pop. 3 fears, 3 minutes, right? But I never really know exactly what I'm going to say. I don't write anything down. I have an idea, I have a couple thoughts to go with that idea, and I just run with it. But I will say this, a lot of the things that we did go over tonight definitely hit home for me. And so everybody needs some encouraging, and everybody needs motivation sometimes, and sometimes trying to offer it to people is the only way that you can get that encouraging and motivation. So if that's the way in which I gotta get mine, by helping you, I'm so cool with that. Like, that makes me feel good. That makes all of this more purposeful, right? So I just want to say, keep going, don't stop, keep your vision solid, and you'll get it. Just stick with it. All love.